there, Jets fans. Welcome to episode number 50 of the JetStream podcast. I'm Travis Rubinik. Today is November 16th, and I'm here with Joe Clark and Neil Noonan, and I know I dressed up for the occasion of our 50th episode.
Wow.
Dressed
you
to
went
nines
above and beyond.
in my fantastic Toronto Maple Leaf ugly Christmas sweater. See, I had this whole thing planned out, because I got it, and then they beat the Bruins 5-1.
Fantastic is very subjective.
It's amazing. You want one. You know you want one.
Well,
I'm jealous. I think it's great.
I don't want a Leafs one. The Detroit one's really nice. I might get one of those.
Get some horns, Trav.
Yes, this thing is just the best
Yeah.
thing I own. I had this whole thing ready to go, though. Because,
What about your Kessel jersey?
Okay, that's up there, too.
Yeah.
I tweeted out, and I have this real dilemma now, is that I have so many Leaf things that I don't know what to wear when I want to rep Leaf things. I have the sweater. I have, like, 3 jerseys. I have 4 Leafs jerseys.
Wow.
That's
just too many.
Okay, I have 4 Leafs jerseys and a fake Leaf jersey.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
What else do I have? I have 2 Leaf hats. I have Leaf t-shirts. I have Leaf pajama pants. I have a Leafers robe. So many things. Like, it's out of hand. But I had this whole thing planned out. I was going to wear the sweater today after they beat the Bruins on Wednesday, and I was just like, yes, turning the tide. Here we go. They just destroyed the Bruins.
And
They lost. Hold on. They lost on Friday, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. It's Pittsburgh Penguins. It's fine. They'll bounce back against the Sabres.
yeah,
And then
that's what the Leafs were thinking too.
like, can we just talk about for a second how bad the Sabres are?
I'll talk about it. Don't worry, it's coming up.
How bad the Sabres
Yeah,
are?
don't worry about
Ah,
it.
damn it! I wanted to talk about how bad the Sabres are.
Oh, I'll talk about it. Don't worry.
They're your team of the week, aren't they?
Don't worry about it.
The fucking Sabres. They're bad. But yeah, you should all buy one of these wonderful Christmas sweaters because
they're
even though
actually-
they're hideous, they're amazingly.
Yeah.
They're so ugly that they're beautiful.
The Jets ones are meh, but
It's so cozy and warm.
If you have-
the Columbus Blue Jackets one is sick.
there's a lot of really nice ones. But some of them are just mediocre. So I mean,
I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Whose was it? Somebody, one of the teams has. I can't remember what it is. It's completely slipped my mind now. Anyways, ugly Christmas sweaters, top notch, good purchase on my part. In my opinion, at least. So Jets stuff. Since we aren't going to talk about how bad the Sabres are beforehand, because we don't plan anything apparently.
No.
Let's talk about the Jets. They lost last night as well. Lost a couple in a row. Scored 1 goal in those games. I think everybody's kind of aware now of the Jets scoring issues, and it's an issue. They cannot put the puck in the net. They just can't. They're having serious problems doing so.
unless your name is Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, Blake Wheeler, who's doing about the only one doing good things
Yeah.
on a fantasy team.
Yep.
But they can't score. And I think I have an idea as to why. I'm going to kind of pitch this to you and let you see what your opinions are on
Pitch
it.
it to me.
Obviously, who would you say the Jets scoring line is?
Well, going into the season, thought it was going to be the Kane Scheifele Wheeler line was going to be that scoring line.
Okay.
And then
Who should the shutdown line be?
sorry.
Who's our projected shutdown
The
line?
projected shutdown line was always going to be that Furleek and Ladd and Little line.
So what if I told you that the line getting the easiest minutes right now,
Furleek, Ladd, and Little.
Frolik, Ladd, and Little,
Well.
and the line getting some of the hardest assignments, including a player getting the toughest assignments with some of the worst offensive zone starts. He's getting one of the most heavily defensive zone starts on the team.
Mark Scheifele?
Vanderkin.
Oh, Vanderkin, wow.
And Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele are playing like shutdown minutes right now. They're playing against tough opponents in tough positions.
Yeah.
The only line on the Jets team right now that is getting advantageous starts against weaker opponents, or the only group of players, is Slater, Gagliardi, Thorburn, Halchuk, and Peluso.
And they play, 4 minutes a night, maybe?
Yeah, which I understand that they need to play because they're there. But at some point you got to be like, hey, let's put these guys out and let them try to score because they can score.
Yeah.
They're not just going to start fights when you're on 2-on-1s. And
I saw an interesting... Oh, sorry, continue.
No, go ahead.
I saw an interesting point brought up on Twitter yesterday that maybe it's the whole ice time for that fourth line thing is maybe an indicator of an internal struggle between GM and coach of who should be in the lineup, because Thorburn's always in the lineup, but yesterday he played 2.5 minutes. So is Chevy the one making the call of who's in the lineup, and then Maurice is just like, you know what, I don't like this guy, he's stable to the bench?
Yeah,
or
that's
what?
very. I don't understand how Thorburn got back in the lineup yesterday, to tell you the truth, because especially for Gagliardi. Gagliardi's not a bad hockey player. I've had no problems with him. He's been useful on the penalty kill, and yet he's the one who sits for Chris Thorburn. Like what?
Yeah.
What
Well, that's what I'm
use
saying.
does Chris
That's
Thorburn
that like
bring? Yeah,
internal
like,
struggle, right?
I don't really get that personally, and yeah, it would make sense. Like something's got to be going on. I don't understand why. Like Matt Halishuk has played the hardest minutes on the entire team, like positionally on the ice. Like, he's easier opponents, but he by far when he's been on the ice is always in the defensive zone, always, which is weird to me. I don't understand why it's that push for him of all people. Slater gets some push, which I understand because he's always taking faceoffs, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with Jim Slater, except for his consistent injuries. But I think you got to start considering, and I know it's still early in the season, a lot of stuff's going to change, but I don't understand why for Leaklad and Little, and yeah, I get they struggled at the beginning of the season, but I still don't think that's a good enough reason to start pushing them offensively that much. They've shown in the past to be one of the best, I guess you could say, shutdown lines in the NHL.
They played some of the toughest minutes over the past couple seasons.
And they did well.
Did well, yeah.
And I don't
still produced.
Yeah. And I don't understand why you've now got a second-year center in Scheifele. You've got a guy who's been protected for most of his career in Perreault. He's also getting tougher minutes. Lowry's getting tougher minutes than those guys. Wheeler's getting tougher minutes than those guys. Kane's getting tougher minutes than those guys. I get that they're going to be facing tough opponents because they're your scoring line, but you got to be able to take advantage of certain opportunities when you're at home ice. Push them offensively. Give them opportunities to score. And that, in my opinion, that's going to start turning things around, and you're going to start seeing changes, and people aren't just going to start bitching about guys not scoring.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have an opportunity to score, and the pucks will start going in the net. Yes, I think there are other things at play. I think Tim brought up right before the start of the season how he didn't think the Wheeler, Scheifele, Kane line was going to work. He thought that, if I'm remembering correctly, Tim, I'm sorry if I misquote you here, I think he brought up that you have two players that are used to carrying the puck in on a rush together with Mark Scheifele, and that's not always going to work. They're too similar in so many ways that they can't play together, and that might be part of it too. That might be why Blake Wheeler's scoring and Vanderkin's not. That might lead to some of that. So I don't know if you need to start shuffling the lines again, because when you're having success, it's easy to say, all right, it's fine that we're not scoring.
Yeah.
But you're not going to win games if you don't score. We are all assuming Pavlik's played great. We're all assuming he's going to regress a little bit. He's going to, especially if they end up playing him again today and they start really riding him. I wrote in my Hutch blog this week that Hutchinson's put up good enough numbers that he should start getting more games. And if you want Pavelec at all to have a chance of keeping up his numbers, he's got to play less.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to start evening that out a little bit.
Not even like it's just picking on Pavelec. It's just any goalie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not real. Of course, Schneider's on pace to put like record number of minutes up, and Pavelic's right behind him.
Yeah.
So, again, if there's a goal you want to be putting up record numbers, it's not going to be Pavelec minutes. That's not something you want to do. But assuming, and he will eventually drop off a little bit, you got to think at some point scoring's going to pick up as well. But until that happens, you got to start creating it yourself.
Right now the Jets are still pretty low on the PDO side in the league, right?
They're still below that 100 mark.
Yeah.
They're not super below it, but they are below it.
Yeah.
So they still have room to grow, and a lot of that's going to do with the fact that Scheifele's hit 800 posts.
Yeah.
A lot of that's got to do with the fact that Evander Kane hasn't put the puck in the net yet. But at some point, you got to look at it and say, okay, as a coach, what can I do now to help spur these guys to score? Because just flip-and-flopping Chris Thorburn in and out of the lineup isn't going to change anything scoring-wise.
No,
It's anything that's going to either hamper or make your fourth line better. So I don't know if it's maybe reuniting Lad Little Wheeler and maybe creating two scoring lines. If Blake Wheeler's the whole thing that all these lines are wrapped around, if he's that centerpiece, and if he's the one who's always going to be playing the tough minutes, then maybe it's best to put Vlad and Little with him.
Yeah.
And push Frolik with Scheifele and Kane and push them offensively. I'm pretty sure they played together a bit last year.
They did. Or maybe balance them slightly. Have some of them, both lines playing a little bit of shutdown minutes and also getting some offensive zone starts.
Exactly. And I'm perfectly fine with if Perreault hasn't scored. I don't think he scored a goal yet either this year. He's had struggles too. He's had opportunities.
Yeah.
I'm not saying at any stretch of the imagination. A lot of those guys in that middle. The reason I'm saying this isn't because they're not doing well. I think they're all positive Corsi guys. They're doing well. The Jets are a decent team, Fenwick and Corsi wise right now. They're a good possession team for the most part.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of us projected there would be. The problems we've always said. defense and goaltending. Those two things have been okay lately. Jets are winning. Great. That's exactly kind of what except for the last 2 games, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're playing well. It's not looking like it has in the past, where it's been terrible breakdown after terrible breakdown. I think Zach Bogosian's played great in his last few weeks.
Yep.
Mark Stewart's shown a lot that needs to be improved. And I think he's the only guy to me that I've been watching and has been questioning, what are you doing?
Multiple times a game.
Yeah,
with his committing and everything, but
Klitzum has his odd mistake, but whatever. He's a third-line guy. Postma's played great. Enstrom's played like Enstrom. Bogosian's played better than I expected him to be playing. Pavlik's played a lot better than I expected him to be playing, and it's good. I'm very happy that it's working out this way, but you can't just be fine with that.
I think that Garrett pointed out, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Garrett saying that the only 2 Jets players trending above their regulars right now in terms of point production and everything like that is Enstrom and Bogo.
Which is great.
Yeah, well, it's good for them, but I mean, you also want to. That just means everybody else is either doing the same or worse.
And for the most part, I'm thinking it's going to be. I think Ladd's probably close to what he's doing. Again, I didn't see the information. I'm sure Ladd's pretty close to what
he's a fairly consistent player. You can expect that.
I think Frolik's played well, but obviously it's the Wheeler's probably close to him, if not shooting over now at this point. But he's probably close to his regular production. But definitely Kane and Scheifele are probably. Actually, Scheifele might even be close, because he didn't put up a lot of points until that one stretch last year, but Kane for sure is going to be below what he usually is. But, what was I going to say there? Completely slipped my mind. Whatever, it'll come back.
Okay.
I've completely lost
what
I was going to say. It's gone.
You're gone.
It's gone. It'll hit me at some random point, and I'll just scream it out loud.
Okay.
I just think there needs to be more room for optimization. And with that could come more success. Mm-hmm. And it's more of a not tampering with a good thing, because I don't think you've got a solid gold thing right now, but preparing for when things start changing up and knowing what you're going to do with it.
Yeah. Offensive-wise, you want to have an idea of, if they stop losing games, which, I mean, the past 2 games they have, stop winning games, then what are we going to do to try and fix it?
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that once that comes and once you start seeing those adjustments, I don't want to say I'm convinced the Jets are changed, because we've seen stretches of them playing great before. We have. It's every year they seem to go through that stretch where everybody buys in.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone gets excited again and they're ready to go. I think last year might have been one where it was a little iffier because things really...
It was just that transition period between Noel and Maurice where everybody was
and
like,
everyone was like,
God.
yes, look, it's great. Things are changing finally.
But that was the only point really last year where there was a lot of positivity.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Somebody brought up, I can't remember where I'd heard it. I think it was at the pregame. Elliot Friedman might have brought it up. That in this slump, when they went into New York and they won all those games without scoring goals, he said that he had talked to a few players. And he got the impression from some of them that they got the feeling that now they don't need to always score 100 goals a game to win.
Right.
They understand that if they play defensively well, they can still win games. Which, that's a great thing to kind of realize in yourself, that if you play properly defensively, you can win games. Mm-hmm. That's a good feeling to have, and I'm not surprised that wasn't a feeling that they've had for a long time, because their goaltending was awful.
They had nothing to back that up with.
Exactly, they had nothing. Yeah. Whenever they didn't score 3 or 4 goals a game, and how many times in the preseason I say they need to score 5 goals a game if they want to win.
Yeah.
Understanding that is great, but you can't rely on that 100%. You can't. You can't
still need
sit
to score,
back.
You still need to score goals.
You need to score. You need to at least score 1 goal a game to win.
Yeah.
If you want to have any kind of chance, and most of the time you need more than that, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. So I don't know. There's a lot of good things that have been going on, and it's weird because those good things haven't been scoring a lot of goals, and it's different than what we've seen in the past. And I'm not sold it's permanently different. I'm not saying I'm buying into this Jets team yet. I'm still very critical of what's going on. I'm still trying to see if things are really changing. But it's nice to have a little sense of optimism.
Yeah,
finally.
Absolutely.
And even if this might just be a fact they're on a decent run at the start of the year, they're sitting in 8th, I think, as of this morning.
Yep.
Whether it's because it's happening at the start of the year and it looks different in the standings, it's not them trying to claw back, it's them hovering around the same spot. I don't know if that's the case or what it is, but
Now is the time they need to start winning divisional games, and that's where in the past they've always failed. Has been, they'll go on a road trip out east or out west, and they'll come out like last year they went into LA, into the Los Angeles area, and got a bunch of points off of the Kings and the Ducks and those guys in San Jose, and you're just like, wow, awesome. And then, they come back to the Central, and then they lose to Minnesota, and they lose to, Chicago and that stuff. Those are the games they need to start winning. And so far, they haven't really quite done that, but...
they've got another chance at it today. They play Minnesota today. They lost last night against Nashville. I think they're 2-1 against, or 1-2 against Nashville now this year. They've
got to find a way to win those divisional games more. Not saying that winning ones outside the division aren't important. You definitely need to do that, but they got to find a way to stop the woes in the Central Division. Which is not easy. It's a great division. So
we brought that up with Arby this summer about how they had 21, 22 points from their division last year, and that was nearly enough. You need to do better than that.
You need to take points away from the guys that you're, fighting in the standings against.
Exactly.
You can't just and you can't even be winning games in overtime. I mean, you gotta make sure the other teams aren't getting points at all.
Yeah, and that's where games like today's game against Minnesota Wild, they're important. You can't just be tossing them away, and that's why I don't think Pavlik should be starting today. I understand the thought of Hutch playing 2 of 3 isn't the greatest thing in the world, but I don't think that should matter at this point. He played well again. Hutchinson's played great so far this year. He had an iffy start, you could say, against LA. I thought he still played okay. He was just hung out to dry for the most part. He shuts out the Blackhawks. 1 goal against Carolina. He played great in a relief role. I believe it was against the Stars. Why not play him again? I don't see the problem with that. So I think it'd be all right to get him in the lineup again today. It gives you a better shot. Pavlik's brutal on the second half of back-to-backs. It'd be less than 24 hours from the start of their last game.
It's not a long time.
So you need... The Wild aren't exactly a powerhouse with goals, so...
But they are a possession team, though.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Their only game of the whole season that they've been outshot was, I believe, last game or the game before I saw, and it was because they're missing one of their number 1 D guys. They're missing Zach Parise. They were missing a couple other key guys from the lineup. I can't remember exactly who they were, but I was reading up on it, and there was one game so far this year that they've been outshot, and they had major lineup issues in that game.
Jonas Brodin and Marco Scandella were probably them?
There you go. Jonas Brodin, I think, was the main D guy that they were missing, so...
Do you know why they were missing them?
Why?
Because Mumps are making their way around
they had
the NHL.
Mumps? Oh, yeah. Mumps is screwing me in fantasy because Corey
Perry's been out. Francois Beauchemin's out. Officials have been out. Jonas Brodin, Marco Scandella, Keith Ballard, and the Wild have all been out. They had them earlier this year. It's becoming
it's a thing.
It's a thing. NHL.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, I think a league even put out a warning to teams saying, like, hey, start taking care of yourselves because this is going around. And I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on mumps. But I think it's a contact transmitted thing.
And it seems, apparently, it starts off like the flu. Like, it seems like the flu because that's what happened with Corey Perry and Francois Beauchemin was. And I had it in my fantasy team where he was, day to day with the flu. And I was like, he'll be back in 2 or 3 days. 2 weeks later, Corey Perry's got the mumps. I was like, what?
Yeah,
so pissed.
It's painful. Like that's not when your glands all swell up, right?
Yeah,
you look like you're...
I don't know, but apparently Corey Perry practiced by himself the other day.
Well, yeah, that's one of those things too. Like you have to be completely away from your team because if think about what the sport hockey is, you're consistently bumping into guys.
Oh yeah, you're up
close quarters on your bench. You're always coming in contact with other people,
up close and personal. Yeah,
in a sport like hockey, that can pass quick. In any sport, that could pass quick from player to player, and before you know it, half the league's out with mumps. So, and the Jets are going into one of the places where it's very, very evident right now. So,
look at all those swollen glands. I just googled mumps, and all these people's
look at all those swollen glands there.
People's faces are just like, bruh.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they take this very seriously, and the Jets are taking care of themselves right now and not doing what they did last week and getting all drunk before. But yeah, did you hear about that last week? What? This is actually what Neil, do you have their pictures prepped here? Because I want to...
I'm trying, yeah.
Okay. We'll wait for a second to do that then. What can we talk about here? We got a lot of stuff to go over still. But yeah, I think for the sake of success, you kind of have to hope that they avoid getting mumps throughout the Jets locker room.
I agree.
If there's one team that cannot stand losing players, it's the Jets right now.
Absolutely. Especially for like multiple weeks at a time.
Yeah. Look at the Columbus Blue Jackets
my God.
They're a team that should be decent. And
right now, they're doing a little bit better. I think they won 2 straight.
because they started getting some of their guys back from IR. Half their team was hurt.
Yeah.
That will happen to the Jets.
They got Nick Foligno back. Did they get Bobrovsky back?
Yeah.
They got a couple guys back. So that's good for them. I'm happy to see the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Fingers are crossed for them.
Playing well, yeah.
I just have such a soft spot for the Blue Jackets.
Me too. Absolutely.
If there was an ugly Christmas sweater other than the Leaf one I was going to get, it's that Columbus Blue Jacket one.
I want to see that one. I'm going to Google that right now.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit here. Connor McDavid.
Oh, here we go.
I have to bring this up. I have to.
Yep.
For those of you who don't exist in hockey land or don't watch SportsCenter or anything and somehow don't know this, Connor McDavid broke his hand. Did they say he broke it?
Yeah, it's broken.
It's broken.
She's broke.
He broke his hand in a fight. He kind of whiffed on a punch and punched the boards, and I'm thinking that's probably where he broke his hand.
Oh, really? I didn't see that part of it.
Yeah, he's like wailing, and then you see him miss one, and he hits the boards, and I think that's probably where he did it.
Sucks.
Broke his hand.
Okay.
That's obviously not good for World Junior things. I don't think it's going to hurt his draft order at all, because it's goddamn Connor McDavid.
No. Yeah.
He might not be able to break record books open like people are expecting him to do this year, but he's out, and that obviously spurred
5 to 6 weeks.
5 6 weeks.
Yes.
That obviously spurred this explosion of rah, 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 fighting, blah 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 blah. It very quickly went from, oh no, Connor McDavid's hurt, to fighting is stupid, blah 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 blah. Now let me get this across. I do think fighting's stupid.
Yeah.
I think it is too. The fact that Connor McDavid is hurt does not influence me at all on that point. I think fighting is really dumb and just ridiculous. I'm probably going to get some hate for this because I understand the persona of hockey players and that you need to stick up for your teammates, blah, 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 blah. We talked about last week how you don't necessarily need to drop the gloves, stick up for your teammates.
Every single time.
I'm pretty sure football players stick up for each other all the time without dropping.
How about every other sport?
Whatever.
Ever?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I got into an argument yesterday with a couple of my friends about this, and we'll keep going.
You don't need it.
No.
It isn't necessary. I understand people say it's a part of the game. It's not part of the game.
No.
It has nothing to do with the game. They stopped the game for people to fight.
Yeah, which is stupid.
It's not necessary. I'm pretty sure most people who've played hockey in their lives went their entire careers of playing hockey without ever dropping the gloves because it was outlawed. As a kid, it is outlawed.
Yeah.
Throughout any beer league ever, it is outlawed.
If you can name to me one country in the entire world where bare knuckle boxing is legal, I will give you money. Oh, wait, Canada and the friggin' United States, because they can punch each other in the face barehanded on a hockey rink because it's part of the culture. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It is dumb. It is very dumb.
I had an argument with a couple of my... Well, it wasn't really an argument. It was a spirited discussion. About,
we have lots of spirited discussions. That's why we started a podcast.
Yes, exactly. And we were talking about fighting, and I think it might have... I don't think it was because of Connor McDavid, but I can't remember exactly what it was. And then one of my friends brought up the fact that, the reason it's there is, or the reason they're not going to get rid of it is because or the NHL's not going to get rid of it is because of the self-policing thing. I'm like, just think about that for a sec. Like what you're saying, self-policing. In what sport needs self-policing? Why is that even a thing that you're saying?
Yeah.
No. Self-policing does not exist it should never exist in sports. How about that's what officials and the league are for? The officials do the disciplining and then the league takes care of it afterwards. Grow some balls, NHL, and actually discipline the players when they do something that's dangerous, such as fighting.
Hockey's not played in Gotham. You don't
exactly.
need fucking Batmans running around punching everybody in the face.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't need vigilante justice in sports. Why does that even exist?
Yeah, it's stupid.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And not even just that side, but the thoughts of everything you know about concussions now.
Yeah.
I literally study this stuff. It is terrible.
Yeah.
Understanding what's going on. In your brain, the nerves in your brain when you get a concussion literally are ripped apart.
Fun stuff.
Your brain does not get the blood it needs. It is basically suffering maximally. It cannot get oxygen. It is hampered.
Yeah.
If you look at brain scans of people who have concussions, it is not pretty. All the spots, if you know what an MRI looks like?
I do.
How it's all lit up because this is everywhere where your brain's getting oxygen. Yeah, it doesn't do that anymore.
Good. That's
your
perfect.
brain is not healthy when you have a concussion, and you're just gonna let guys punch each other in the face until they just give them to each other. Hitting is different. Hitting in hockey is meant to separate a guy from a puck. It's a play to gain control of the puck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes guys get decked.
Yep.
And sometimes guys get hurt.
And
but that is part of the game.
A lot of the times it's their own fault for having their head down or what have you.
Exactly. Hitting somebody in the head is illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's illegal. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So why are you letting them punch each other in the head?
Yep. Exactly.
You suspend guys for hitting each other in the head. Mm-hmm. Even if it might be an accident, you suspend guys for hitting each other in the head.
Yeah, even if...
But physically, deliberately punching them in the face,
that's fine.
it's okay.
It's
5 minutes, you're all right.
Yeah, you just go sit in the box for a little bit.
It's a little ridiculous to me.
It is.
It just doesn't make sense. Even LeBron James came out this week on the whole concussion thing.
I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to ask you about that.
He's not even letting his kids play football because he doesn't want them to go through the concussion side of stuff.
I saw that.
How long is it going to take before you start seeing hockey players saying, I don't want my kids growing up getting concussions and not playing hockey?
A couple of cases, I can't remember the names, but I've heard in the past couple of months of guys dropping out of their NCAA programs and their WHL programs saying, I'm 18, 19, whatever years old, these kids, and they're saying, I'm done with hockey because of all the things I've suffered so far due to my head injuries, and I want to have a life.
Amanda Kessel isn't playing this year because of concussions.
Yeah.
And that's women's hockey. Like, there's more than just fighting in this, but there are issues there.
Yeah.
And the league has to start addressing them. And yeah, part of it does have to come with them punishing players more for doing stupid things. And coming around as a whole. Like, there's more than just fighting here, but fighting is the main thing. And yeah, they're going about this little baby-ass way of not letting players take their helmets off and blah, 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 blah. We saw two guys in a Vanderkin and whoever the heck he was fighting laughing as they took their helmets off and fighting.
Yeah.
I get that it pumps fans up. I'm not saying it doesn't pump people up. Humans are very, very aggressive in nature.
Yes.
They used to literally sell out huge stadiums to watch people kill each other.
Yes, indeed.
Like, we are very gruesome in nature that way. But that doesn't mean you should let people do it.
No.
You're going to let teenagers? Connor McDavid's a teenager. He's a minor.
He is yeah.
You were letting him fight bare knuckle brawl on skates with knives on your feet.
On ice.
On ice.
Yeah.
You're lucky the worst thing that happened is he broke his hand on the boards.
Exactly.
Like, they're kids.
Yeah.
You're letting kids fight professionally and turn them into goons before they're even fully matured adults.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
No, it's not.
This is that shouldn't be happening. I don't care what your argument is. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's dumb. It shouldn't be in the game anymore. It should be there, period.
Yeah.
People are going to look back in like 10 years and be like, why was this allowed? Like, people look back at the Scott Stevens hits now and they're like, how was that legal?
Actually, interestingly enough, yesterday, one of my buddies was saying how... Oh, I can't remember the player who got hit, but Mark Messier was the guy who hit him. Was it Tiger Williams? I can't remember. It was he showed me a video on YouTube. He's like, here, check out this hit of Mark Messier leveling this one guy. And according to my friend's dad, he's like, oh, this guy was never the same after this hit, even though he went on to like get a bunch of goals and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that to what it is. But this hit was brutal. Blindside. The guy never touched the puck on the play ever. It was never even close to him. Mark Messier comes and lays his shoulder / elbow / entire body weight into his face. And yeah, that's it. And it's whatever. It's Mark Messier, so it's all good.
It's just... I feel like people are going to come back and start saying, oh, you're going to take hitting out, blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. Big hits can still happen without being illegal. Did you see that Dion Phaneuf hit?
Well, did you see Malkin level, what's his name? Who's the defenseman on... Gagliardi.
No, it's not TJ Gagliardi. It's... I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. Anyways, Malkin leveled him yesterday. Pure clean hit.
Oh, yeah, Friday against the Penguins. Dion Phaneuf destroyed... was it Horkvist? Destroyed him.
I don't know. It was a good hit,
like,
though. Yeah.
Holy crap. And it was an amazing hit.
The best thing I saw out of that hit was Steve Dangle say that Phaneuf hit was so clean that if it was a white dress shirt, you could wear it to a job interview with confidence or something like that.
Apparently somebody said, I don't know if this is a joke or not because I couldn't find an angle good enough, but apparently after he made the hit, you see Dion be like, I am so sorry.
Oh, really?
But yeah, that was excellent. It was a great hit. Neil, do you have those pictures ready? Because I want to start talking about this really quick.
Of course.
Okay, so last Saturday... the Jets had their, I believe, rookie party in Montreal, and they drank a lot of alcohol.
Oh boy, here we go.
A lot of alcohol.
Okay.
And they were very, very hungover on Sunday.
Excellent.
And there were some great pictures that came out of it. I'm perfectly fine with this. I don't think it ever became a thing. It's like, oh, why were they getting drunk? You're in Montreal for a party. Go ahead. Play for a few days. Have fun. I want to do something fun out of this, though. I want to go through some of the Jets roster and figure out if we can guess what they were drinking that night.
Okay, here we go.
So, Neil, if you want to pop just random players up and let me know.
Wait, you want the drunk pictures?
No. Just any picture, and I want to see if we can figure out what that player was
just for the rookies,
drinking.
though?
Anybody.
Oh.
Anybody.
Oh.
So, like...
So everybody was there.
Everyone was there.
Oh, okay.
It was a team thing,
Yeah,
right? Like,
okay.
they went out as a team. You want to grow as a team, go get drunk together.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Do you want their roster photos?
I don't... Just pictures of their
Yeah,
faces.
the roster photo's fine.
Even just them.
Yeah.
Just so we could just look at them and be like, this is what they
Okay,
were
well,
drinking.
I already had this guy up, so here it is.
So
Vanderkin.
There's Vanderkin.
He's a vodka guy, I bet.
You think?
Yeah.
Vodka rocks or like on the rocks or what? Like just straight up?
Because I bet you he gets the same drinks as the drinks he buys girls. Or wait, he is...
What? Engaged?
He's engaged,
Okay.
but
Isn't
I
he
don't
not
think that
engaged
stops
anymore?
anything. No, he's engaged,
Oh,
isn't he?
I don't know.
He's allegedly engaged.
Okay.
And allegedly, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just a vodka guy. I feel like he's that guy who would look at the bar and be like, "What's the most expensive
Oh yeah,
thing
some
you've
like
got
Patron
here?"
or something.
Yeah, and be
yeah.
like, "I want 6 of that."
Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's fair.
Yeah, I
enough.
think that's probably what Evander Kane was drinking.
He's
that
like
night.
the one who makes it rain.
Obviously.
Okay, good. I like it. Who else we got?
Oh,
God.
there's so many.
All right, well, let's just scroll across the top.
I want this one.
Blake Wheeler.
We don't want Blake Wheeler drinks.
What could Blake?
He's a dad.
He's just beer.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
he's
a beer.
Bud
He
Light.
takes-
No, he's not the Bud Light guy.
He's American. They love
I feel like he's a dark beer guy.
they
though.
love their Bud Light in Merca.
Nah, he's not a Bud Light. He's tougher than that.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's true. American.
such a-
yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a dad beer though.
Maybe just
It
Bud
is a dad beer.
And he is a dad, so I'm gonna give him Bud Light.
Okay, Blake Wheeler's
The
got Bud
Merkins
Light.
love their Bud Light.
I was gonna say Bogosian was straight up Bud Light.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
He only drinks
like
Bud Light.
yeah, Budweiser, Bud Light, anything like
No,
that.
Bogo takes shots of anything.
You think? He's a party animal though,
Look,
or
yeah,
he was.
true.
You want
That's
to take
true.
a shot right now?
Yeah, but he
He
takes
was.
He has taken shots before this photo.
Yeah, exactly.
he takes shots, but he chases it with Bud Light.
Maybe.
There you go.
He was a party
Very
animal.
interesting.
He was a party animal. I've heard stories from around the city.
Oh, I've heard some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Probably shot. A lot of shots.
I think he did a couple other things other than. Anyways,
Is that Jacob
I'm
Trouba?
not gonna go into that. Jacob Trouba.
Nice face, bro.
Jacob
He's.
Trouba.
I don't know. He strikes me as such a as he comes across as such a softie. I think he's like Long Island iced tea,
Long, yeah. Oh, for sure. Jacob Trouba drinks Long Island iced tea.
and that's like him and Shifley like go
No,
to-
Shifley's coolers. Bacardi
Oh, yeah.
Breezers all
You're right,
day from Mark
Shifley is-
Shifley.
yeah, definitely.
Let's be honest here.
Where's Shifley?
I don't think he passed
I think
already.
he was at the beginning.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that
Oh
is
my God.
100% Bacardi Breezers.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
No, this guy drinks Shirley Temples.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Virgin
Oh,
Shirley
man.
Temples.
Some
at
Palm
him.
Bays.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
He can't wait.
He listens to Frozen and drinks those Bacardi Breezers and
Yes.
Shirley Temples all day.
Perfect.
For sure.
Okay. I love it.
Thorburn is just straight whiskey. For sure.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
Oh,
care.
Buff. What does Buff drink? Beer. Dark beer.
Oh my god, look at that photo.
Beer for sure. Like hard, just nasty tasting. How do you... It's basically syrup beer.
Yeah. Like stick a fork in it and
Yeah.
it stands up.
The
Yeah.
thickest beer you can imagine.
I'll give you that.
And lots of it.
Lots
Oh,
of it.
yeah. Lots.
In the middle of the lake on his boat
While he's fishing.
with a massive sunglasses tan.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I love
that's
this
a great
picture. That's a great picture.
It's that picture of Dustin Byfuglien. For those of you who've probably seen it, he's like making a kissy face while he's warming up.
Yeah.
Stretching on the
Classic Dustin Byfuglien. What do we got
ice. Andrew
for
Ladd.
him?
This
I
is
bet you
another
if
dad.
anyone on this team doesn't drink, it's him.
Yeah, exactly. He's clean cut. I
I don't
agree.
know. He's won the Stanley Cup though, so just like wine. He
Yeah,
drinks.
oh, he
he drinks,
drinks
a nice, he drinks a nice red wine.
There you go.
He's
I like
walking around
that.
the bar with his wine.
Yeah.
Well, he's hipster lad. He's got his
Oh
glasses.
yeah, hipster lad.
Yeah.
He drinks a wine you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best wine, but you've
Yeah.
never heard of it.
Yeah, you've never heard
It
of
has
it.
a really cool label and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hipster lad. I'm gonna have to Google that.
It's made
up.
locally with organic elements.
Obviously. Andre Pavlik, well, we all know what he drinks.
Oh shoot.
Everything.
Everything he can.
And then he drives.
and then goes to McDonald's.
Yeah, he definitely drinks a lot of stuff. I can't even like nail down one thing. He drinks all of it.
Yeah, all of the things.
If it is in front of him and it contains alcohol, it's consumed.
That photo that is of him when he's like at some sort of party or something, and he has like a red cup, and he's got his arm around some girl, and he's making that weird face. Like I had it on
Yeah,
the podcast before. Whatever is in that cup.
He's the guy who, like, when you're playing Fuck You, he just takes the king cup and is just like,
Just pounds
cheers,
it back.
bitches, and just
Yeah.
chugs it.
just pounds it back.
Oh, Toby Enstrom.
He's pretty clean cut too.
I feel
Where's
like
he from?
Sweden.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweden.
Sweden?
Yeah, he's Sweden.
What do they drink in Sweden?
What does Swedes drink?
I don't know. Fish. Swedish fish. Great gummies.
They drink. They are pretty good. Oh, what does Toby Enstrom? What would he drink? I think he just drinks vodka. Like vodka on the rocks.
That seems like a Sweden thing. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google Swedish alcoholic
Vodka,
beverages.
water, lime.
Oh, hey, Absolute Vodka is actually made in Sweden.
Vodka. He's a vodka guy.
That makes sense.
I love this Wikipedia page. Alcoholic beverages in Sweden. Alcoholic beverages in Sweden are as common as in the most of the Western world. Oh, that's great news. Thanks. Sweden is historically part of the vodka belt, with high consumption of distilled beverages and binge drinking. But
He binge drinks vodka for sure.
Oh my goodness.
He sauces just a nice little pass across the ice.
They
and
also
then
do
he
a
just
lot.
takes a shot of vodka.
They also have a lot of
off.
vineyards in Sweden, apparently.
Nah, he's a vodka. He doesn't touch wine.
But some of the more well-known ones from there is Absolute. The Absolute brand of vodka is made in Sweden, so we'll say he drinks that.
Absolute vodka.
Yeah.
He's got to rep the homeland.
Obviously.
What do they drink in the Czech
Absolutely.
Republic?
I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's too much work, but. Oh hey, yeah, Michael Froehlich.
Exactly. That's why I was asking.
I don't know.
He looks kind of like a beer drinker too. Like if you didn't know he was a hockey player and you just saw like his face, you'd think he has a beer gut.
Maybe.
Like look at that.
Yeah.
He's got a beer gut for sure. When he gets older, he's gonna drink a lot of alcohol, a lot of beer.
He looks like you might want to smoke more than drink there.
That's true.
Just looks
Lighting up a dart,
Yeah.
drinking a beer. Yeah, that's probably it.
Hey, going for a
Okay,
dart.
let's do one more here.
Oh wait, I kind of want to do Thorburn. Look at this picture of him.
What is that?
He did some modeling for Mondetta Performance Gear, I believe, which is
Why?
like a local.
Did it make his nose look smaller?
I don't know.
He definitely drinks whiskey.
Wow,
For sure, because
That
whiskey
is
makes
like-
you aggressive, right? Like whiskey makes you want to fight.
Yeah.
that is
Oh,
some
yeah, and
really
forget.
aggressive hair.
He drinks whiskey.
We don't
For
know.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, he drinks whiskey. Thorburn's a whiskey guy, without a doubt.
definitely straight up.
There's some great pictures of him.
A lot of them are him losing fights. Wow, he didn't have hair in that one. What is that? All right, this is really bad podcasting.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do Joe's great team?
Sure.
Let's do some Joe's great team of the week. Let's play a little bit of music here and then get into this.
Joe's great team of the week for this week goes to, and this is gonna break Travis's heart, goes to the Buffalo Sabres. On Saturday night, if any of you are watching, I don't know. I know I was kind of watching because I was half watching the Jets game and it was a snooze fest. So I watched a bit of the Leafs game, and I have some Leafs on my fantasy team. I have multiple fantasy teams, and I've got James Van Riemsdyk, I got Nazem Kadri, you know.
Joe, we all know the Leafs are amazing. Can we just get this over with already?
And so I was like, oh, all right, they're playing Buffalo. That's awesome. They're going to get some points, going to rack up some fantasy points, going to win both my games this week. It's going to be sweet. That was not the case. Saturday night, Buffalo Sabres beat Toronto 6-2, and it was never close. The reasons why this is important are twofold. The Sabres have now jumped above the Jets for 5v5 goals. So the Jets are dead last in that aspect in the NHL. The Sabres are now second last. It used to be flip-flopped, but I think they had 3 or 4 5v5 goals against the Leafs last night. So now the Jets are in the basement in that respect. So fun times there. Other than that, another interesting fact, the total as it stands right now for the Buffalo Sabres, 30 goals for this year. They scored 6 last night.
In 19 games.
Which means that 20% of their goals for the entire season were scored against the Leafs
For
in
fuck's sakes.
less than 60 minutes. So, yeah, that's fun.
Against my boy James Robber.
And Spelling Bee star, Mr. Zemgus Girgensons,
Nice.
had a good showing. I think he had 2 goals, something like that. So, yeah, that's all you need to know for the team of the week.
Nah, I'm going to add on to this.
Buffalo Sabres are on a 1-game winning streak, and it is so sweet for them.
They're 4-13-2 right now.
Nice.
You can't outbat the Sabres. Let's just say that. Their goal differential is a minus 38
Yeah, that's pretty
in
bad.
19 games. And they made that 4 better yesterday.
That's brutal.
That is disgusting. Their Fenwick 4 percentage is 37%. Whew. The rule is 60-40
Yeah.
because no team ever goes below 40.
Wow.
They're on pace right now to be the worst possession team in history of keeping possession stats.
Yeah, well, that was like what the Leafs were.
The Leafs they're doing worse than the Leafs last year.
Yeah.
They're doing worse than they did last year. They're doing worse than like the 2000 whatever Atlanta Thrashers were. Mm-hmm. That used to be the worst team before the Leafs last year.
But they beat the Leafs 6-2.
This is our first regulation home win since February 28th.
Nice. Wow. That's brutal.
That is terrible. How do they still have fans?
I don't know. Nothing else to do, I guess. They can watch the Bills or they can watch the Sabres.
The Bills haven't been that bad this year, have they? They can make the playoffs.
I saw an NFL ugly Christmas sweater for the Buffalo Bills, and it's really cool. Actually, it's nice.
Yeah, I saw. They also have like specific player ones of these, eh?
Oh, cool.
I saw one for TJ Oshie. It is disgustingly, brutally awful.
Oh,
but it's
perfect.
awesome because it is disgustingly beautiful. Blah, 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 blah.
I want one for James Van Riemsdyk because he's my man crush.
I hate you for stealing him, by the way.
Yeah.
Just the worst.
It's like Travis's like worst day ever is when I drafted James Van Riemsdyk in our fantasy
I
draft.
was so mad at you.
And all I said was LOL with like 9 O's. I was like, lul.
You got fooled.
Yeah, you got luled.
I got luled.
Big time.
All right, a couple more things we want to talk about before we finish up today. There's more Vegas talk recently.
Vegas.
And apparently there's a potential ownership group named.
Mm-hmm.
The Maloofs? AKA your Yeah, I hear some bad things. You want to tell us about that family?
Well, they were the owners of the Sacramento Kings for the past decade and a bit, and thank goodness they're gone now. But they basically...
That's exactly what all of hockey fans want to hear. Thank goodness that ownership group's gone. Gary Bettman's just welcoming them in.
Yeah, there's like, do a quick Google search and you can learn a lot about these guys, but they basically tried to cheap their way out of making a good team and anything good for the NBA at every turn, every corner. Their arena was poorly upkept, I guess. They traded a 5th overall pick during his rookie season, which has never happened before, just to save money. They constantly were trying to get rid of, or trying to ditch Sacramento for another place. So Las Vegas was one, Seattle, Virginia Beach, I think, was another one. All while just trying to cheapen out Sacramento and their fans, which has some of the greatest fans in the NBA. And this just was stirring for maybe about 10 years, maybe 2006, and they finally got out. But just awful guys. They weren't in it for the sport, they were in it for the money. And it was very apparent with all the decisions they made. And plus they were just drama queens on and off camera. Like, it's
lovely.
Yeah.
I've heard they've had some alleged substance abuse issues.
That doesn't surprise me either.
Vegas already has enough risks in putting a hockey team there with their potential fan base, the way the city works, and all this other stuff. But adding a iffy kind of ownership group to that mix.
This kind of ties into what I learned this week. So I'm just going to do that now.
Okay, well, let's go into what I learned this week.
We're already talking about it. What I learned this week was that, according to Bob McKenzie and Elliot Friedman, two of the guys whose opinions I respect pretty highly, and they normally know what they're talking about, Las Vegas is sort of leading the way now in terms of where an NHL franchise could be going. And in Elliot Friedman's 30 Thoughts, he was really focused on this part of it and was saying, talked about the Maloofs and their history and all the bad things that have happened, but brought up a positive side to it where apparently I don't think this was necessarily his opinion, but just the impression he's gotten from some people around the league and from Vegas that it would be maybe not such a horrible thing because they know Vegas. And they know how the city works there, and if an NHL franchise does go to Vegas, it's going to be run fairly differently than what a normal NHL franchise is going to be run. And so somebody has to the people who are going to own it need to know how to run it properly because it's not going to work like a regular franchise.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. It still irks me a little bit. Neil, did you learn things this week? Or are you still trying to learn it?
No, this is super funny. When we do this segment, I just look at the top links of Reddit.
Yeah.
And this one's awesome. Brett Hull was banned from the Blackhawks locker room as a kid after he took the equipment guy's hacksaw and sawed everything he could.
What? That's hilarious.
What? Oh, that's hilarious. Because his dad played for the Blackhawks, didn't he? That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
But like, what kid wouldn't do that? Like,
exactly.
You find a saw, all you want to do is saw shit.
Yeah, cut things. Just bans him from the locker
Get
room.
out!
How old is he? Does it say?
I know it doesn't say no.
That would be hilarious.
That is awesome.
Oh, never mind. He was 7.
Oh, fair enough. That's
Which
perfect.
That is the
funny.
exact age when you just want to start sawing things and wreaking havoc.
Oh, yeah.
So when he didn't find the hammer, he just would have smashed everything. That is so funny.
That's great.
Then he became an NHL Hall of Famer.
Wait, let's put on some music.
Oh, that's so good. Speaking of putting on music, thing I learned this week.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia Flyers cannot sing.
Okay, I want to watch this. We got it queued
I don't
up.
think. Have you guys watched this?
No,
at all?
I haven't seen it.
All right,
and I want
okay,
to watch
we're gonna
it.
throw this up. I think you guys will be able to hear it over the speakers. If not, Neil's gonna work some magic to make sure you can hear it. But yeah, this video is just
You want to go YouTube, right?
top notch. Neil's trying to set this up here.
Is it in history or will I have to search again? I don't want to wait, actually. I love that teams do these things, by the way.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
Get all festive for the holiday season. When
Yeah.
I search in Jingle here. Boom.
Well, like we talked about it last week, how teams marketing themselves and
Yeah.
marketing their superstars, what they need to do. This is something that could really help, especially with the NHL. I read something else this week that was talking about the same thing, about how they need to start marketing themselves. The whole ads and jerseys thing kind of spurred that. Whoa, picking up the pace of the
Yeah, I
music.
haven't heard this far into the music before.
Usually we're just laughing by now. Oh, there
Here
it
we
is.
go. Here we go.
go.
Okay.
Alright. Jingle bells? Jingle bells.
Oh, no.
What is that?
I'm a terrible singer.
So I'm singing this straight up, yeah?
This is Jingle Bells. Alright, so this is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's naughty, but it's fun.
It's fun.
So
Are we
good.
doing the unwritten version or the actual written version?
This is just for fun.
Jingle bells, Batman smells,
Everybody
Robin.
goes, you can... What, I always think the Batman smells.
Bells on bobtail ring.
close
Make
your
you
eyes.
script. Oh, jingle bells,
Still
jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Loving it.
Oh, what
That's
fun
really
it
into
is
it.
to ride a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! In a one-horse
Nailed
open
it.
sleigh. Over the hills we go, laughing all the way. Jingle bells, jingles all the way. Oh, fun little. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
In a one-horse open sleigh? Oh my god, I'm sweating.
Hey! Laughing all the way, ha ha ha.
Jingle bells, jingle...
Over the fields we go, laughing. Ho 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 ho.
Perfect, that's exactly...
Boom.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
You guys are killing me. Hey.
drop the mic.
Was I actually like doing it like I was good at it? Or?
Yeah, you actually did. You did a good job.
That's embarrassing.
Okay, keep going.
Snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
They auto-tuned it.
We go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha.
There you
Keep it playing. They keep playing it after. It's so funny.
It's
a good deal, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
And popcorn starting at $150. Shop PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. Hey!
Wow.
Who is that guy?
That was Jakub Voracek.
Yeah, it was Jakub Voracek.
Whoa, Yakov, what?
Jakub Voracek.
That's a spelling bee.
Oh man, yeah, just YouTube Flyers jingle, and that's the first thing I think that comes up. It is hilarious. Their facial expressions, if you weren't watching us on YouTube, oh, it's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
That one guy who's just like pauses and then he's like, "I'm a terrible singer." I don't even know who that was, but that was great.
Oh, so good. Okay, one other thing that is not actually. Let's do the spelling bee and then we'll
Spelling
get
bee?
to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jets are playing the Wild today at 4. Today being Sunday at 4 o'clock. And so I just
Stupid start time.
Yeah, so I just went through the Wild roster and was like, hey, what's a fun name to see if we can spell? And I found a pretty good one. And as usual, as we get to this point with 50 episodes, I can't remember if we've done this one before or not, so you're going to have to back me up. Nino Niederreiter.
Nino.
I think we might have.
But you're not going to remember what it is anyway, so we're doing it again.
I don't think we've done this. I would have recognized Nino.
So yeah, Nino Niederreiter.
Nino Niederreiter.
Right.
Sounds like a children's toy bike or something. Nino
The Niederreiter?
It does.
That does.
That's excellent.
Nino Niederreiter.
Get your kids the hottest toy on the market.
The Nino Niederreiter.
The Niederreiter.
fly like El Nino.
Oh god.
All right.
What do you got, Neil?
Nino.
Okay.
Attaboy.
Neederrider. Nino Niederreiter.
I should have enunciated better so you got the full lettering here.
Nino Niederreiter. I don't know how much I can do better than that.
Niederreiter.
Well, I'm not gonna. That's obvious then. Nino
That's how you say
Niederreiter.
his name.
Well, Niederreiter.
Niederreiter. Niederreiter. Nino, N-I-N-O.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow my rules of language here.
Yeah, that's probably a bad call.
N-I-E.
Okay.
D-E.
Yeah.
R-R. Logic tells me it's I-E.
What does
That
your
would be
heart tell you,
stupid.
though?
What is your What is your heart?
My heart tells me it's E-I, so I'm gonna go E-I.
Okay.
T-E-R.
Nailed it.
Oh!
That was one of the toughest ones. I'm
I
impressed.
spelled that name a lot.
Fun fact. He is the highest Swiss draft pick in NHL history, 5th overall. Fun fact about that draft that he was picked in 2010, and this is pertinent to the NHL as of right now. Jaden Schwartz and Vladimir Tarasenko were selected 14th and 16th respectively, but the Blues drafted them both. They had the 14th and then the 16th pick. They got Schwartz and Tarasenko. Now those two are in a line with Yuri Laterra, and they have one of the most lethal lines in the NHL right now. Something along the lines of 44% of the Blues' total offense has come from that line so far this season, and they've got something like 38 points in their last 4 weeks or something stupid like that.
That's insane.
Can't remember the actual numbers, but it's just dumb things.
Tarasenko's unbelievable this year.
Yeah, Jaden Schwartz is not doing too much worse either.
Man, could you imagine? Niederreiter was drafted by the Islanders, right?
Yes,
Could you
Islanders.
imagine he was still on that team?
He was in the Cal Clutterbuck trade.
Ooh,
Yes.
great work, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Good
I
thing
love
they
Cal
put him on
Clutterbuck,
the
though.
list.
Like, that
it's a
mustache,
good-
though, and that
Yeah.
name is just unreal.
That mustache, though.
Cal Clutterbuck.
Okay, one more thing we're going to talk about. This is not hockey related at all. I saw
Perfect.
this on Reddit, and I felt like I needed to ask this question on the
Fuck
podcast.
yeah.
It's hilarious. It was one of the best threads I've read in my entire life. with
Wow,
responses.
I'm so excited.
You have the obedience and loyalty of all squirrels. How do you proceed?
Oh, wow. The obedience and loyalty of all
Of
squirrels.
all squirrels. All of them.
That's a lot of friggin'
That's
squirrels.
a lot of squirrels.
Holy hell. That's like, you could take over the world.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a lot of squirrels. Like, can we do like a quick search and see how many squirrels are estimated like in the population, wild squirrels?
Yeah, do that, Neil. Meanwhile, Joe,
Can you find
that
that for
answer.
us? What I'm thinking is, I mean, obviously we wouldn't need all of them for this, so let's break them up into like battalions. And
You're taking over the world with squirrels?
well, no, just bear with me. So break them up into battalions of a few thousand or 100,000 or what have you. All of your enemies, and get them to go to their houses and just outside their houses for like ever, and to drive all your enemies insane. So that's one. That would be like step one probably. Yeah, that'd be my first thing. I mean, I don't have a lot of enemies, but whatever enemies I do have, I would.
That's funny how I was thinking. I immediately went to enemies too. I'm
Yeah.
like, who can I scare the shit out
yeah,
of?
or
with a
like who
bunch
can
of
you annoy the
squirrels?
shit out of, because squirrels are so friggin' annoying.
But I think we're underestimating how many
Well, I mean,
squirrels there are.
Like, that's just a ton of squirrels. Are we, like, saying that just we have the control so we can make them do anything?
You can
So,
make
like,
them do
they're-
anything
They're
you
basically, like, intelligent beings now. Like, we can tell
Basically,
them...
you tell them to do whatever you want,
and
tell
they'll
them to
do it.
and
Okay.
they'll do it.
Wow, that's too much.
They're almost every response
With great
was just
squirrel control comes great responsibility. This is, like, a serious thing.
so many of the responses was, I just fuck with my dad.
What?
So it was just like, I just have them appear. They'd be like on his car, and they'd be in here, and until he just went insane and had a midlife crisis again. So many of them. My favorite one though was that he would get them. I can't remember the whole thing, but this guy was just like, I'd get them just all at the same time every day. Just look up. All squirrels would just all look up, and then eventually he's like, people would start to notice that at the same time of the day, every day, all squirrels would just be looking up into the sky like they were waiting for something. And then he said slowly, and on each country, he would get all these squirrels to start gathering at the same time, and they would all just look up and then
God.
scamper away.
I really
Until
like
at
that
one point in time, all squirrels would just come to one big thing and just sit there and wait, and then they would all look up. And then they would all just run away and it would never happen again, and just let the world go insane trying to figure out what these squirrels were doing. That was my favorite one.
Meanwhile, you're sitting in your like secret lair in a volcano, being like, "Mwah!"
Exactly.
like petting a cat in a swirly chair.
There were so many great responses. One of the ones I put it out on Twitter too, and it was like Book of Floob, I think, responded to me, and he was like, Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Battle Royale.
And he was like,
Squirrels.
keep the last squirrel, because he's like, that's the squirrel you want to be your friend. And I was like, wait, wouldn't you want to keep a male and a female, and then mate them, and just have a new race of, like, unbelievable
Super
squirrels?
Just super jacked squirrels.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, that'd be great, until they started becoming, like, the superior species and taking over humans and stopped listening to me. I was like, that's true. What
Did
if
you
that
find, like, the total estimated population?
No,
of squirrels?
couldn't find much. You would think they would just be one number, but there definitely isn't. There's some funny searches. I was thinking, like, you know those, like, in the mall, they'll have those kind of, like, flash mobs or whatever. Dances?
Yeah.
I'm training my squirrels as flash mob, like, parks and stuff, and just do a dance.
Just
a nice choreographed dance.
squirrel dance.
One
Do you get
person
flying
on Reddit-
squirrels, too?
Sorry?
So, like, regular squirrels,
Type of squirrel.
red squirrels.
All squirrels.
Oh, man.
All
We're
squirrels.
a squirrel army now.
There's way too many possibilities here.
Somebody responded similar to what you said, Neil, on Reddit, and they were just like, I would just replay all the best movies with squirrels. Could you imagine?
Perfect.
Oh, that'd be so good.
The Matrix with squirrels? Just
Just one little squirrel just dodging little acorn bullets.
Oh, God.
I actually would love to hear our listeners' ideas. Hashtag JetStream. I'm going to read all of them.
Jaws with
wait.
squirrels? We're going to need a bigger boat.
Somebody else
Just
responded.
picture a squirrel saying that.
I want to do Game of Thrones squirrels.
Oh my god.
Walking Dead squirrels. Squirrel zombies.
Squirrel. Squirrel.
Breaking Bad squirrels.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Somebody else responded on Reddit, and they were saying that they would get the squirrels to just start collecting all the loose change they found.
Ooh, you'd be rich.
Exactly. Like every squirrel just starts bringing you pennies. Oh, that'd be so sweet. But yeah, that's something I would absolutely love to do. I don't know what I would do though. I don't know how I'd take full advantage. Could you imagine being a kid and just realizing you had control of squirrels as a small child, and you just
That's
start
too much
bringing
worth seeing.
Hey,
Way too much responsibility. Way too much.
and you just start as friends, right? You just want to play with all these squirrels, and then one day some kid bullies you, and you're just like, get him.
All the squirrels in the
Every
world.
squirrel just piles onto this bully. And you're just
my
like, oh my god, what could I do with this?
Too many things.
What if you could like learn from squirrels? You could like learn scavenging
We
techniques.
need to just stop this now.
All right, but yeah, I want to hear what people would do if all squirrels. You had the complete obedience and loyalty of all squirrels.
Okay.
I want to hear the responses. So
Send them in.
either put it on Arctic Ice and comment about it, or tweet at us, email us. Just give us a great response. What would you do if you had the obedience and loyalty of all squirrels?
It's a great way to end.
It is. So, yeah, check out my Movember page. I am still growing this disgusting mustache. It's getting there. Apparently, in certain lights, it just doesn't even look like it appears.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of embarrassing.
You've got a camouflaging mustache.
Yes.
So mine's camouflaged in all lights.
That's very impressive.
It's like I don't even have one.
So tweet at us at JetStreamPod, hashtag JetStream for those responses. Check out the website, www.jetstreampodcast.com. Wow, we're getting some feedback right now. This is really difficult.
It's tripping me out. You can hear what you're saying right after you say it in your ears, and it's delayed.
I
and
was
it's
actually
really.
wondering for the last 20 seconds if you guys heard the same thing.
Oh no, I hear that. I'm
You
hearing
guys are
it.
professionals.
That's terrifying.
Because I was like, this is really tripping me out. Let's end the podcast.
I was getting along
Twilight
okay, but then I
Zone.
started trying to read this, and it's a bunch of JetStream in a row, and I'd say JetStream, and I hear JetStream, and it's like,
Hopefully those at home or wherever you are don't hear the same
This needs to end.
Okay, JetStreamPodcast@gmail.com. Tell us your squirrel stories and what you would do. Get at me on Twitter at THRUBENIUK. Joe on Twitter at J.
You're almost there. Get through it. Get through it.
At J_Clark20. Neil on Twitter at Neil Noonan, NEILNOONAN. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes. Don't give us a bad rating because of this. It's not our fault. Check out ArcticIceHockey.com. I'm actually going to be at the Jets game on Thursday, so if you're there, tweet at me, tell me you're there as well, and I'll come say hi or something like that. I don't know. Just don't punch me in the
Cool
face.
story, bro.
Yeah, totally.
He's gonna be with a Wings fan.
Yeah, I'll be with the Wings fans. Punch him in the face. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. Hope the Jets keep doing what they're doing, and go Jets, go.